Test 1 2, test 1 2.
That leads to that's not a popular thing. Somebody will get out of one game away. Stop.
What do you think? Pretty crazy stuff going on. Should we try to come back at a different time?
You really are.
I talked to him on Friday, but I don't know if he thought there were this many people showing up.
I'm gonna ask him. I would go with that. That's way above my pay grade.
I wish I would.
First of all, thanks for everybody for being here. It's good to see everybody out there. Obviously, there's a lot of action and a lot of stuff going on right now, so I appreciate it. Just a reminder for everyone that this is a board meeting, so we ask that you sit and be quiet and refrain from yelling things at the board or discussing things with people next to you, because it is hard to hear in here even with the mics on. But I will ask board members to use the mics, and that way we can try to make sure that everybody hears everything that's going on. So we'll go ahead and get started with the approval of the agenda. Is there any changes or additions?
We had resignation of Jim Ryan and Connie Potts. I thought we could add that under number 12, like 12A. It could be part of 12, yeah. And then we need to approve Brooke Wright as fifth grade teacher at Wilson. So that would be, what's that? You could add it to 13. Roger, do you have one that you want to do?
Yeah, I'd like to go into executive session to discuss.
I would like to do only a very short one, so I'd like to do that pretty quick and get that over with. So maybe right before principal's report, we do that. So 7A.
have to talk, use our teacher voices and talk about it as we can. Any other additions or changes to today? Hearing none, I will approve, entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Okay?
Second.
Second, Allison, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. And approval of the regular meeting minutes for March. I'll move to approve. Motion by Roger, second. Second by Josh, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. We've got public forum, just as a reminder for anyone that has signed up, an opportunity to speak your thoughts and opinions to the board. It is not a two-way conversation. This is time for you guys to be able to speak, and then for time restraint, please try to go to the line. Anything else?
When the conversation committee started a couple of years ago, we had a serious conversation with the Senate. Presented three options: social plans, social focus, or other. We wanted him to have a same teacher who didn't hesitate to set his plans. We have a advantage that a lot of women's schools don't have practically social community. My mom is also 5 minutes from the classroom, so it's from there. So something happened while we were in school. They're close by, and whatever your needs. He also has an influence on your community. This is considered a high customer night for a year. Fast forward to this school year. My students in class is working on a project that approaches all school buildings and missions. While here at Central High School, they heard comments such as, "If they're laying out of our school, don't take my blanket picture. We don't want you here to use me." I obviously use her blanket in case of her opinions. This made my family home change time. They don't go over the development of graduate and celebrities. This past month, we were aware of a petition by the freshman class at Central High School. They will refuse to play in the sport if there is a to student comment. How are our children supposed to feel welcome in these kinds of things going on? Let's not forget comments that are made in class during this talking. I believe in a lot of lines of Wilson needs to suffer. They need to find a district that actually wants them. All these comments, I know, do not represent everyone's opinion in the class community. I've had enough conversations to know that this is a majority consensus, not to mention the board members' opinion. Wilson didn't cause others anyone. The choice you made to put our mascot and our identity with the all can is just that, choice. You have this choice to make. Your choice is not our fault. There are many different school districts that have their school name and identities, and they are united in the we here suggest that the rules bias and combine the adjuster and recognize we also still come up with that, but when they invest have a second thought, with the same desire. You can't get that. Whether it's just by extracurricular activities or the actual clothing inside of the Wilson, I will not be doing. Not because it's clothing outside. Like I said, this is where my family comes from. I always want to raise your thought. It won't be because of the roads. I created those same roads for 5 years and still not really it will be because of how the community has to be very are your uses of their children and the base for community action comments for our children, not how you receive other adults, but how adults in your community are talking about this to our children. I can imagine some of you and those who will be forward comments to about our community children not representing the whole. However, they do represent you, and oftentimes they can be 10 times louder than any possible that is said. You may be only one thing, but I can guarantee you you're not on these thoughts.
After.
Good evening. My name is Matt Earl, and for those that don't know me, tonight I just want to first say thank you. What you do and feel like you speak. I know it's not the decision that we made behind but that's how I am. I'm here on behalf of the city council. And I'm proposing the opportunity hopefully to the district to push this and with maybe the selling or leasing or whatever to the city hall push. Vacant right now. It is a 50 by 80 metal building, 4,000 square feet. It has three offices in it right now. There's two small ones, one bigger one. The bigger one is where we got a conference room. Our main office in it. It's about 577 square feet. The other two are much smaller, but they're running right around 75 square feet, 63 square feet. It's got a bathroom. This place also has a safe room, so if it have bad weather, we have a place to go. Safe. In the office, main office, I guess the conference room was. There's also a kitchenette where you can use to take out and more space. All this is for where we know that we need space down in the elementary. And this is one way to maybe open up another room for classrooms or whatever. Plenty of storage space. The building is 4,000 square feet itself, and it's also got 4,000 square feet of storage space. When we built it, what I would call the main floor of the shop, it has about 2,600 square feet with two 12 by 12 broad doors in it. With walk-in door. It's store for meeting, trade, mode, whatever, desks, and you have accessibility to get in there easily. It also has square footage up above the office, 1,400 square feet, where you can store records, whatever. That's also a possible place. Other benefits with this is it's also got a security system, and it may have been, I don't know if it's council time ago, but it may be included. I'm not sure if it was. A security system inside and out for safety. We've got a bathroom, and it's also maybe a possibility of a bus stop, where you have accessibility to the sidewalk, where you can actually get onto the bus and off the bus and right off the sidewalk. And the other thing is where you would have someone there working there already, have also there. You have actually have a place to walk into the hallway there, if you want to time or whatever. It also is handicap accessible. It has a ramp to get up in there. Everything on the main floor is also handicap accessible, where you can get in the room without any problem. Most of our cycles, what this might do is to help push it, get something back to push. Also, maybe a relationship that was broken 3 years ago that dearly needs to be put back together. I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you for it. I think it was letting me speak, and I do want to let you know, City Council would love to talk with you guys and try to make a deal, do something that doesn't work for you. And also for the same time. Thank you. Good luck with your decision.
Thank you. Eric Creek.
I don't know if this is the right form. I guess at number 19, Wilson discussion. Now we come up talk about Wilson, or we do it now?
No, if you've got something to share, you can.
All right. I've been about 6 years, so I don't know what's going on between Clapton and Wilson. I have no idea. Here's what I do know. What's going on in Wilson, I can understand. You're losing teachers, probably have a problem finding teachers to fill the spot. I can understand that. You're talking about consolidating. I can understand that too. But my question is, why is it not consolidated here? The reason why I bring that up is one, 27 miles from Wilson. Weather changed drastically between here and Wilson. We had a school day. We got a whole lot of snow down here in Clapton, where Wilson didn't get any. The school got called off. How about the vice versa? way, because I'm pretty sure not, you want the old county road here. That's not the best of road. This 30 miles, weather-wise, is big drastic changes. And I'll go back to where the last snow day we had, wasn't probably any snow at all, but you guys did have snow. Something else I don't understand is, when I wasn't around, you guys consolidated. Why is Wilson, like our elders, in the same county? I don't know if county lines have anything to do with this or not, or money. That just kind of confuses me. Why y'all in the same county? And my next question would be, you talk about all consolidation, and the way it sounds, why put it for a vote in the city of Wilson where they want to go? Or is it too late for that? It sounds like, myself included, you should put up for a vote, let the city of Wilson decide who they want to consolidate with. Yeah, break down in school. I rather my kids go with Ellsworth, down to Old Corning, better road, my opinion. I don't know about school system, but safer. But I think it's going to go for a vote for the city of Wilson to decide where they want to go. And some offices completely different. Would it be possible to get the minutes and meeting posted a little bit faster? It usually takes a couple of weeks. The meetings to get posted on your internet. If you don't mind, it's really off the subject. If you don't mind. So whether changes, Old Bridge, better road. All right, that's all in Wilson. And there you go. I'm done. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And paperwork.
Serious. Anyway, I just wanted to refer to that. I want to clarify that. There's all about those. That's wrong. Nothing about it. I have a freshman granddaughter. I'll find out tomorrow. See what that's all about. But that's why I excited about that. And as far as what you said about I'm not against the right to according to the legislature. That's all bill allow children to wear whatever they want. And it's really, how will the public, I don't, the board, but you've got to do something to unify and we'll decide what they want to do, whether they want to come here, whether they want to do children. We can't financially support 4 kids in the classroom. It's not giving just 4 kids in this class, give justification.
They, what's the, I don't know, but what that,
Approval of invoices.
Yeah, highlighted for you. First page, you'll see that 150 iPads, that's that emergency connectivity fund grant that we were awarded, for $44,000. That's money that we've got those pull some and some out. On page 3, you'll see where we paid $142 twice to Ellsworth Packing. We have very nice patrons who donated these to us, and that is our cost to get the process. On page 5, you'll see Permanent Electric, installed water heaters and some complaints. Senior high school made mention of some of our water heater issues. They finally did quit working, so we had some new tank lines replaced the old tanks. Bottom of page 7, you'll see $115,000 sent to Salina for our special ed assessments. And that's all I have on. Any questions on anything?
I'll entertain motion to approve the invoices. Cameron, second by Josh. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. And treasurer. Second by Josh. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. And reconciliation.
The reconciliation report was in your packet. The ending cash balance at the end of March matched the bank, which matched Darlene's report. So we are balanced. I just might add, if you look on Fund 70, which I've got three will punched out, that's the URSA 2 money. And you can see that there's a negative. You have to request that, so that deposit will be made. In fact, later we got it April 7th. So the URSA 2 money is spent. You guys have money out of URSA 2.
Right now, general fund year to date, we have spent about $288,000 more than we did last year. Again, quite a bit of that is translation lines. Them. LOB, we spent $192,000 more. Capital outlay, $82,000 more. Food service, $24,000.
Mr. President, I move that the board go into executive session pursuant to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. Discuss confidential personnel matters related to non-elected personnel as they include individual employee non-performance and that will return to open session in this room at.
I think it was about 5 minutes, so 5 or 6. So 6.
Motion on the table, is there a second? Second by Chad. Passes.
You happy?
We are back in open session. Principal's report.
Our cash balances match our reconciliation report. Currently, our groups for sixth graders are taking against investments. We're also working on this year's schedules and things more for next year. We have some students participating in farm safety closure process. Our coach, Renee in part of each took first place in the first and second grade division, and Lori River took second. In the fifth and sixth grade division, Keith Lawson took first, Whitney Armstrong second, and Caitlin Lynch took third. On April 25th, we'll have our pre-K 3, pre-K 4 roundup. We have 26 on our list for pre-K 3, and as many always show up on the way, that's on our list, and we have 28 on our pre-K 4. On the 29th, our fourth grade kids are dedicated on a field trip to Business Energy, third grade, refuge, and we also have sixth grade orientation to junior senior high that day. On May 4th, we have a Way Down on White challenge. Miranda Stillwell, who graduated from Clapham, she moved in Miranda Janice. She sponsors this and pays for all of this and challenges our fourth through sixth graders to create something Way Down on White books. Those who do that, she's going to reward them to a trip to Salina. On May 5th, we plan to have our large show and youth program. 16th of May, Play Day Cookout. May 17th, we'll do a regional board reward for the second through sixth grade kids. May 18th, crazy last day of school. Check out already on the 19th. And the raffle we have this year, instead of having our carnival, so it's going to do a calendar raffle. The teacher brought it up and went with it. Wow, $9,257 made on a calendar raffle. All donations from our community. So I want to thank them for supporting our students. Any questions?
Thank you.
Our reconciliation reports match our bank balances. State assessments has begun by the end of April. Spring sports, we have 21 high school kids out on the track, and boys and girls. 35 junior high kids out on the track, 16 girls, 19 boys. 7 tennis, 7 softball, 5 out baseball, and 5 girls in golf. Music department had a great trip to River Park. We got letters from Mrs. Ruth and the kids thanking you for riding the bill. They received best in class, or superior rating both the choir and then best in class of the choir. They brought home 4 children. So they had a great performance and a great time as well. The girls basketball team was recognized by the Barton County Commission with a proclamation. We had the 112 honors banquet on March 24th, which we recognized 12 district seniors very well. We had 4 seniors and 2 juniors recognized at the CPO honors banquet in Central Plains. On the 6th, we had Supreme Court Justice Dan Biles come to give a presentation to our Central Plains and Wilson students. Did a nice job explaining what the Supreme Court does. Actually hearing 2 cases and bringing him that night. A little bit of discussion about that, not a lot. Did a nice job. We had prom and after prom on the 9th. It all went smooth. After Saturday at 1 o'clock, we were presented at the Plains Senior High School was presented with the challenge award, State Board of Education, and criteria was back. Basically, it was from state assessments, graduation rates, attendance, well, there's several criteria that we met, and what the some schools, the top 100 schools in the state. That. The FHS art show is on the 20th of April. The Yale art show is on the 7th. We have our seniors taking their field trip to Wichita on the 20th. Day manufacturing meet will be here on the 23rd. We have scholarship interviews on the 24th. NHS induction on the 25th. It's Saturday. Junior high spring music program on the 29th. That is a calendar change. What is on the calendar is the 28th. Going to the 29th, here we'll talk about the track being got later. That's the word music program. The 29th, the sixth graders will come over for orientation. May 4th is our cleanup. Our junior high students will be going to Rolling Hills and the district is final. May 11th is our high school awards night. It's 12 Senior last day is the 12th. Graduation is the 15th. Junior high awards assembly and ceremony and promotion is May 16th to 2 o'clock. May 18th is the last Saturday of the school. Seems like we're talking about all enrollment. It goes back. Busy time of year, there's going to be involved with a lot of stuff. Question. Thank you.
Thank you. And a presentation from INA Olympic.
Thank you for having us. Daycare, motion. Just glad to come and answer any questions that you may have. Just work with the information for security upgrades, for security goals, including INA, and both companies everything presented should either see or copy because that's everybody. Anything is, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer those. Everything that we because on our cases for administration.
Some of this money that we can use in ESSER money. One of the concerns I've approached Jake about this for safety takers. That's part of this plan. I've kind of given you a summary of this plan Friday notes. I really do as an administrative team to sit down and look at what areas that we want to do. I know we protect their students have protectors, which is positive. We like to get security differences between the buildings here. We have to go out and shop or ag or art. Better cameras with more details in parking lots, buildings, streets. So we're going to be working closely with them. I hope to have some idea what we're looking at, possibly by early this summer. They've already worked it all up. I just got to make sure the state approves my ESSER 3 application, which is submitted. But this is the area I'd like to see us focus on. Specifically, better cameras, more security.
Is this a one-time cost or is it ongoing?
One-time cost.
Yeah.
The only cost that I talk to you about was a monitoring, because of some issues we've had with, our systems that we currently use. And we talked a little bit about that.
So our monitoring is optional, and it's $65 a month per system, one system. Totally, it ends up being about $95 a month. And what that includes is a daily check of the system to see functionality of each individual piece attached to the server diagnostics itself. So at any point that there is, we can consider a blip on the radar, and we address that at the facility.
Do you guys address that, or is it
Yeah.
the building administrator?
No, it's the same place.
One of the reasons is it never fails. Okay, something happened. Pull up that camera. Well, that camera was down. And we didn't even know. Somehow it got offline. That's part. I'm not in the school business as far as knowing how all this works, and that's why I think people live that part is.
And they want to make it's actually an air quality detection. So it'll do everything from marijuana to tobacco to vape, and also has elevated all audible alarms. So and if there's shouting between two individuals, it will register that and notice to whoever the predetermined person is, whether it's SRO, and principal, and and it goes for all the pieces of the system. The big benefit we see in a lot of the smaller districts is controlled access. Instead of giving out keys to every rec unit, every rec director, we give out access codes and key cards, allow you to designate when they can use facilities instead of them being able to come and go as they please. And that allows for security and better safety.
So like your vape detectors and stuff, looking at square footage.
We actually have a program that we put in the square footage of each bathroom or locker room and puts us based on 99. So my average is 1 to 3. The event is clicking pipe underneath the entire locker. So linking to that.
Thank you guys. Thank you. We'll be in contact.
Presentation from Wilson Student Council.
The video, but some of these local people put together some of their thoughts and ideas of everything that's going on. So we have a presentation. And unfortunately, it's not going to be the biggest picture, but the town is constantly engaging in. If you want to see it again, we can have another show. But right now we just go with it.
To the Board of Education, Administration, and patrons of USD 112, we, the students of Wilson Schools, would like to take this time to share our thoughts and feelings about recent discussions surrounding our school. I have lived and gone to school in Wilson my entire life. The majority of those years, I've always known that we could close at any time. If I'm correct, Mr. Clark, you used the word stable to describe the environment we will be offered at Central Plains High School. There's nothing stable about the school you have grown up in and loved being closed and all of your friends you have known for the majority of your life being spread out to the surrounding schools.
Now, I started my education here in preschool with almost all the classmates I had. I may not remember much from back then, but all I remember was having fun. There was very little bullying or problems in my elementary years. Every time I would fall, my friends would pick me back up again, and they still do that to this day. Next came my junior high years, where I made so many memories through extracurriculars like football and more sports and scholarship. Then I met our amazing high school staff, people that helped me through more than just my school things. They've helped me through many hard times. Now I'm in my freshman year with the fear of my school shutting down. I don't think you guys understand how much it means to us to graduate from the place most of us have been for our entire lives, leaving our friends. Actually, at this point, they're more like family. I actually care for these people and they care for me. I never want to lose that bond.
Wilson is a unique setting because we have a pre-K through 12th grade under one roof. Looking back to my days as a young elementary student, I remember looking up to 3 high school girls who were active in school and thinking I wanted to be just like them. Because of our K through 12 building, I was able to see them on a regular basis. Now I am a high school girl, doing my best to serve as a positive role model to those younger students who are just like me. If proposed changes are put into action, this unique and positive opportunity will no longer exist for the students at Wilson.
Wilson has had its share of losses, and we are not known for our state titles or our star athletes, but we are a family. I feel proud to be a part of a team that works hard to not only improve during off-season and between games, but also to make sure every single member of the team feels like they matter. Every day, I am constantly reminded of how lucky I am to be a Wilson Dryman, and I am incredibly proud to be a part of something so special.
We do not know what the best decision will be, to stay with this district or to make transfer to a new one. What we do know is that we want to stay together. We want to stay together as a school and honor those who were driving before us. We want to stay together to grow tenure, to learn tenure in our own unique way. And finally, we want to stay together to keep our community strong and alive. We are trusting you, trusting all of you to keep our thoughts and prayers in the forefront of your minds, as you would your own child. When making a lasting decision that will affect our todays and our tomorrows, thank you for your consideration of the students of Wilson Schools.
Board approval for the KSD contract for the 22-23 school year.
Yes. Legal fund for KSB will be $2,300, which is the same as it has been in previous years. Our membership will be $8,486.92. And that is based on our state aid, and that is up about $800 last year. That is money well spent. I bet you at least every week I call KSB once. So I would ask you to approve the contract with KSB for the 22-23 school.
Motion by Roger, second by Chad. All in favor, raise your hand. Passes. Then board approval for the resignations of McKenna, Ryan, and Scott. Motion. Motion by Josh, second by Roger. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. And board approval for Michael Ryan for PE for Central Plains Elementary, Jennifer Heath for secretary for Central Plains Senior High, Amber Beckman for nurse for Central Plains Elementary and Central Plains Junior and Senior High, and Denise Kimke for library para at Central Plains Elementary. Brooke. Right?
Right.
Right. For elementary. Motion by Chad, second by Josh. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. And board approval for the senior trips.
You should have the one for Central Plains High School, the one for Wilson High School, detailing, basically the day that they will spend. I saw a bill.
Oh, she's bringing.
Oh, I thought I had.
Well, I just gave you one.
Okay.
So the Central Plains Conference.
Had a few words with regards if you wanted us to do that now. Just I didn't know how this would work, so just to let you know what our plan was and ask if you could consider a trip.
We like to take this opportunity to potentially our 2026. I know we kind of work sometimes, so it's quickly coming to an end. We wanted to plan a day of just a couple of scholarship. Not really fun outside school. We have worked on this year, Daycare grades, and school. So as a pre-graduate celebration, we have planned a day trip to museum of works with have some lunch and most of the town. Hope that you'll appreciate the balance of education from the Atlanta trip. Thank you for the opportunity.
Motion by Cameron, second by Josh. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. And board approval for the city of Wilson, Leslie swimming.
We've done this every year. We have an agreement. Our insurance, I probably need to get that. We have insurance now, EMC. But they provide, we just provide the bus, they pay the driver, they pay for the gas, allows participates for kids to Ellsworth for swimming. Positive thing.
Motion by Ruggers, second by Chad. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. And board discussion on naming of district facilities.
If you recall, last month we had a presentation on naming the tennis court that with Mr. Bittner. Wanted to make the board aware of board policy on naming of facilities. The board will consider a request from school and community groups to name an athletic or other school activity, facility, building, or portion thereof, or person, provided a proposed name, has significant, special, significant, and/or the person has made an outstanding contribution to the school or school system and has been deceased for at least 10 years. The board shall consider naming requests after they are recommended to the superintendent. That's our board policy. That doesn't mean you can't follow. I mean, you have to follow. That's how we name anything in our district. We need to amend the policy then, suspend it anyway.
Want to change it? Okay, okay. So I move that. That's the policy number.
Yeah, suspend policy FC. Very top.
That policy FC suspended and the password that's
Motion, is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. And a presentation for the Wilson Daycare proposal.
I guess I'll wait some of this, see if anybody missed anything, make sure you help me out here. One of the things we've been talking a lot about is daycare, for both business and district. Wilson right now is a little bit farther along than Plains is, but we're trying to play catch up. They have a goal to establish a daycare that could possibly grow into a center. They feel like, and I agree, that will provide incentives to teachers as well as encouraging new teachers to come to Wilson for our district. Additional resources for the community. Fire marshal's already been out, and they were out reviewing our building. We've already had some people that are interested and qualified to run a daycare. Corey Hammock has been out, and they've got some paperwork in progress. J.R. Rogel is working on a grant for one working with him on the city of Claflin and one for the city of Wilson. This grant would cover some renovations, equipment, curriculum, and even some salary. Wilson has received pledges of monetary from Wilson Doors businesses and individuals. And like I said, they're able to go through the Dane Hansen grant as well, because it's being located in Ellsworth County. I did get a text from JR that we would be able to run this through the Smoky Hill grant. So that would be a conduit for us to get money. I'm going to applaud these ladies. I mean, you want to talk about taking a bull by the horns. They didn't just take it by the horns, they took it by the horns and drove it to the ground. They are very excited. Still trying to finalize some details, but I would like, the board to, there's a lot of details that we'll still need to work out, cost. But, I mean, they're doing a great job. I mean, I guess by consensus, I would like the board to agree that they kind of continue to move forward. One of the things that I'm really conscious of is if there will be any cost to the district. We're looking at some rooms inside of Wilson to possibly be used. So we have quite a bit going on here, and we're kind of doing the same thing here on the south. Did I forget anything?
Something that the grant will be identified on the end of April.
Okay. So I guess just by consensus, is the board okay with moving forward on working trying to work this out for the daycare facility in the building in Louisville. Where do you want to vote?
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, each presentation, there they are, 2 stars.
Good evening, how are you guys today? Our committed district-wide, commitment we follow, and we submitted our application for the 2021 school year to wide. So this is because we opted not to participate and file a application, and so we could apply. Now, we're going to back up and file our application. Now, we're going to back to you, we have basically whether it was quarantine, shutting down schools, or just it's all the challenges that we faced while we were in COVID. We had numerous student staff from COVID, from cohort, student staff could not collaborate and work in small groups through all social distances. The real learning opportunity was something new for us. We got to get at it, but it was something new for us at the time. Social distancing and masks were also important on our time. We started planning staffing. Finding substitutes during that whole year was like finding a unicorn. You could find one, you wanted to like make sure that it was single body. Staff. The teacher shortage also fell hard on rural areas as some teachers are not progressing because of the COVID cultures, and as some teachers are staying on in Willows, you have a personal experience for different years. That's not experience. And then the other thing is needed unschooled or having to represent that are important. That is a challenge the children and the staff. We also have celebrations. And I think it's nice that we're celebrations. We were in person all but 2 days. I challenge you to find another school, the piece of Hawaii, that had that much of the school time. That was a fantastic compliment we got very hard about. We have worked very hard on our beginning, and it is measurable the growth we're seeing across all grades. It's not just this is all our grades. We now use that. That's the new assessment tool that we use so that all students in our all grades. Prior to this, we didn't have a reliable across the board school or the 9 to 12 graders, and they were using digits. We purchased a new building curriculum, new math curriculum, and social studies curriculum. Both in the year senior high successfully adopted the block schedule. And not only did this, so that they're thriving in that schedule. And then, finally, Central Campus Mental Health comes into our Oakland County Schools, which provides mental health services for many of our students, and it is that are feeling the numbers not. Our staff is proud, our students are growing, and we are resilient. We're very good. I'm going to take about our they will send our document to the state, but we will also write a report based on our legislators and validate hear our goals. Our first goal, the director spoke about goal 5 years ago. We thought issues like any school, got to bring that up. But the goal, like, to continue start up. Some of the game shows happening in the past 4 years have identified and used the data source amongst building and grade levels and the average special tool is a teacher report, rubric that measures behavior, paper, and the student rated section behavior, and that's a very powerful tool to identify and start with that themselves. And from the data that we can here, in the future, to continue to work on this goal, we need to refine our peer system. We're looking at implementing a curriculum as well, and we're looking at that whole. Our goal ultimately is that we have 50% of students that some are graduating from favor and graduating in this year, students. So better about more connected to their peers and their schools, better identity and see all right. For our second goal, we revolve around and now so you're pretty focused on what our goals and what our stats look like. So we have roughly 37% of our students what's called that are rated with risk. Our goal to factor our leaders and for reading interventions and also for our staff. That each provides for the students anyone to meet their goal, and their goal is to be a student that is career. Now, for economic literacy and how we assess this is something that we really focus on last year, because we recognize that how students receive things like secondary, really provides for school, and so it really is the literacy the focus of our assessment. Now, overall, like I said, 34% of our students are academic, and our goal overall is to get them to be 15%. So if we want to be 15% or less, the idea is less. 50% this. So we have a measurable goal there. It's a long goal, but I think it's more for staff training and all of the things that come together with the student that's a student and there are also focusing on professional development. And those professional developments for the staff will lead us in the right direction. So the next part, we'll have a dyslexia initiative where one of the best things we are able in our class, the comprehension goes to popularity. And then in September, we have a meeting for support for our teachers. And then have it of that our third report. But if you want to know how this is taught, you're interested in getting that basic knowledge, understanding that that's lower grade. And then finally, some of those teachers that will be in HCC that are they'll be doing a meeting on that, and that will count towards their hours as well. And so our new reading professional is based in science reading, and the science reading is something that the dyslexia is based on. And so our goal fast grades and then have component and grade students come in and efficiency letters down during the fall. So, also some other strategies that we have in place in kindergarten.
And discussion on the mayor and Wilson.
I gave, Diane handed out some additional information, not additional, but just information you've seen about different types of projects that we could address the air conditioning issues of Wilson. You have option 1, 2 compressors on the same unit for $30,000. Option 2, 4 compressors, including 2 on each circuit, $58,000. My recommendation to the board at this time would be to choose one of those two to moving forward, so there could be in place for install.
There's 6 pressures up there.
Eight. Let me think just a second. Three more of them. They are all the big compressors, where at Hollywood there's 6 and there's 3 big ones, 3 small ones. Wilson has all large. For my technical ability on air conditioning. All of them.
4 that we have now are replaced.
Some have been replaced. What we had started to do is write the date on them, when they got put in, so we could manage how long are they lasting. We did that with the ones we had in Hollywood. Again, a lot, it's got some age on it, without a doubt. Also, it's controlled properly with EPM. That's my opinion. Talking to the train, they can't ever get the system to run the exact same way every time. I asked if we could just put a thermostat in the building, set it at whatever, let them keep it. I do not have that. No, I don't have that.
Replaced it recently, remember?
We've replaced some in my time here. I'd have to go back and look. I don't have an exact answer.
You have life expectancy, you know that?
Part of the problem is somewhere at some time there was approval to allow an outside company to control a train unit. And they went in and ripped out all the factory train controls they engineered to run that unit. And one of the differences that's been explained to me is that for a commercial unit, which those are, they really run 20 all the time, because you have to constantly have errors, and they cycle how they need. These were set up to run like your home unit, on, off, on, off. They're not, that's how they, I should say, that the new controls had them run like your home, which causes constant starting, stopping, and then there's oil at the bottom of these that is only to be heated when the compressor is not being run. And we found out, like on the ones in Hollywood, and I'm sure the ones up there, that oil was being heated even when it was running. And that's not something that you should have happen. I only found this out after 4 or 5 years of working with train and people that actually know how these units are to be run. And this costs us a lot of headaches, I would say that.
My thought is, place 4 of them, knowing that history has shown we're probably going to lose
the future.
And we don't have to go back here next year or the year after for a while.
I would like to have some local options to give us some more information, possibly information on like the electric needs, but I know when I asked the guy at train, he talked about having to run gas lines and stuff like that. It wasn't really what I was intending or me. I was more of the, so, the electrical units. And I know Council Rural needs to put some things put in, and that allows for more control at ground level, and allows you to temperatures. I would like to have some information on that.
One way we had one of the buildings, we had four of those. Yes. And I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Further discussion on that? And discussion on the district hospital.
You have another folder, or another package, excuse me, with some different options. We were presented with one tonight. One of them is the possibility of moving concrete apartments. We need Hawkins, who lives in Elmwood, is the property manager there. You can see the information that she's given us, what they would charge us a month. You have, if you recall in Friday notes a while back, I sent you that information on a mobile office. The email from that gentleman, not a cost of more than $60,000, delivery setup, block level, and anchor. And they had it in Rankin, Kansas, because that's where they had our district office at. But that price doesn't include utilities, anything what you might need. Then you have the one that is pictured below here. That one is $250,000, very expensive. Then you have the one that I mentioned back quite a long time ago for lease, which is $42,527.53. So there we have several options. One of the things that I'll mention, just for sake of ease, is I would like for our district office to stay in Ellsworth County. For the simple fact that we have to go to the state, switch our county, we have to take all our vehicles, switch all our vehicles. There's just quite a bit of work involved in switching counties. Not opposed to it, but a lot of work to do. Questions from the board? Yeah, well, I didn't know how much they'd be, so I just sent out some, asked for some information, and
It's not like there's no really involved, so I don't think we're worried about that.
I understand and appreciate the effort is to change counties, but I do think the benefits of the city program are working too. I would like to know dollar amounts, maybe more specifics on that before
I don't think we should I think we find out that there's a plumber building as an option.
Not there, just, not putting out of the building.
The initial, some of the initial plans that I put out, I had sixth grade moving over here to a self-contained room. So we figured everything out. I know that's not preferred at all, but by teachers, or administration, local administration. So that's one of the reasons I kind of pursued some other options.
I think you're ready for something else, and the other's basically, doesn't cost us anything.
So I think, coming back to the dollar amount, if there's some pushing it, and if there are any other options in the district, to discuss, maybe discuss the apartments, but for the next month. However, I would make a motion that the USD 112 district office be relocated for the 22-23 school year in order to allow for more classroom spaces in the lanes elementary school and the sixth grade.
There's my
Alright.
How about I simplify this? I move that the USD 112 district office be relocated for the 2022-2023 school year in order to allow for more classroom space at Central Plains Elementary School in Holyoke.
Motion on the table to pursue relocating the district office.
Like Roger's idea, we work for something. Have, I don't.
I have a question. Just prior to this motion, there was discussion to move the district office to possibly different locations, including monthly apartments, a mobile office, a Holland City office, or a Bush City office. Not Holland. Okay, because I thought the word Holland was used. So you're talking about pushing with that. Okay, thank you.
So, I mean, for me, I'm definitely in favor of looking at alternatives and trying to keep the sixth graders in their buildings. I'm reluctant to make a motion just because we don't have a location. But I do agree that we need it. I would rather move the district office than move students. So that's.
And that was kind of my thought, because I know, yeah, the motion isn't necessarily set for on any
specific location, but I feel like there are multiple options that we can set right now. I think the ordinance here, is the appropriate one. That beyond that, or is there anything else
Further discussion?
I think, I don't think that's a question. Now, I understand, I agree with both of you on moving our campuses. We have options. We could move the sixth grade here, open up the space for you. Put the district office, another location, room at Wilson. There's spaces in the district that are available. Try to be as efficient with our monies. Go out and find another building after we close one. Open up another one. That doesn't make sense.
I guess my motion, my thought is to have further discussion on the location of the district's office. To know that was good.
None of those locations could be other district.
I'm not excluding.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-2. And the work session continued discussion. So just a quick summary, we had a work session to discuss things of what the district needs to do. Go ahead. The motion and the second to take a quick 5-minute break. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes. Turn here is 10 seconds. In the last board meeting, we did have a discussion a little bit about the land transfer option for Wilson to move to a different district. And there is a group of people, including myself, that has been looking into what options we may have. There's quite a few reasons for that, but it is something that we're looking into. And I think that, to address the fact that I have publicly been against the land transfer in the past, and so my involvement in this and kind of recommendation of that is kind of a turn on that. I think that I personally feel with the kind of the discussions we've had in the last couple of months, as well as the motion that was made last month, so didn't pass, is an indication of a bigger issue that we have as a school district. And I think that the way that these discussions, these are affecting our students, and that's my biggest concern. I think it's affecting students at both junior, senior high schools, and there's a lot of concerns that I have with that. And so looking at different options of, how do we solve that? We talked about combining the sports and trying to unify that way, and different options. And moving students from one school to the other and combining those, things like that. And I think that in the end, unfortunately, because of the issues that we have between the communities and between the district, is that we're going to lose more students than we can as a district, and that's no matter which direction we go. And so that's obviously a concern. My other concern is that if we don't do a land transfer and we make a different move, and moving the Wilson Junior Senior High School or some kind of combination to the Claflin School, is that we still have 3 buildings that we need to maintain and improve, all of which, all 3 need set improvements. And I truly don't feel like there's any possible way to pass it on in a configuration that includes all of that and to be able to make those improvements. And so that is kind of why I've been leaning towards the land transfer. And looking at possibilities of what that means, talking to other school districts and just trying to get to see if there's any interest. And so that's kind of where that sits. Pass it on to anybody else that's something to say.
I don't disagree with the land transfer. I think that's definitely great to look at. I don't think the bridges to be mended between Wilson and South End. It's a lot of people are mad at each other. I don't want to, I was a Claflin Wildcat, and I do feel sorry for when you lose a school. I go there now, but I just feel like we can't hang on to everything. I don't see combining the sports is going to fix anything. I may be way to maybe start something. But I, for one, think a transfer, if we could pursue that, is the answer to make everybody happy, because you were against it and now you're for it. And so I think we are starting to see maybe that road, but Sylvan may say no. And we need to have an answer. If they do say no, we need to have something on paper where we are headed for the school year 23-24. I don't know, we need to discuss those options, but something needs to be decided tonight, I believe.
So I have a couple different things to say. I know that the communities of Wilson and Jorns are pursuing a possible land transfer out of USD 112. And it has been stated that some of the school board members said that they don't want these communities in the USD 112. And that really disappoints me and saddens me and frustrates me that that's the message and the takeaway that has happened from some of our discussions as a board, because I feel like it has been the effort of this board and administrative staff, as well as a previous school board, to make the best of our challenging barriers. We are all empathetic and understand that the large geographical area of USD 112 presents unique circumstances. However, we cannot use this as a reason or an excuse from having to make hard decisions and have a clear plan for our district for the future. A few consistent points over the past few years in our different community study groups have been that everyone would like the district to have a clear plan for that future, that everybody would like to know what steps we're taking to have a 5, 10, 15-year plan. And they would like more unity in our district. I think it was Allison that said a couple meetings ago that possibly combining or consolidating our high schools would be a good step in that direction of unity to help us see what our needs may be further in the future and help us see, what our numbers would be and how many people would be willing to try to work towards that unification and consolidation. With the discussions the board has been having over the past few months, we are trying to move in that direction as hard as that may be. We want to bring the district together, and we want to provide the best opportunities for all of our students by bringing our junior and senior high schools together. It would be a large step in the direction of our goals. The best for our students is to bring them together to increase our numbers and not to divide our district. Also, people have asked if we're broke again, if that's why we're having these discussions. And I would like to respond to that also. I did cover some of my funding concerns at the last meeting, but I can state them again. With some of the legislature that is moving through the Kansas State Department at this time, there is an increase in virtual student funding that is proposed, but there has been no increase in revenue noted in the state legislature to cover this increase in funding. So it is likely to mean a cut to standard education funding in order to balance the budget. Legislation that provided for fair and equitable funding is nearing an end, and control will shift from the Kansas Supreme Court soon, and that fight will have to be reinitiated if it is. There are also changes coming in special education funding from the government that could mean that as a district, we will have to come up with a large sum of money to offset the decrease in government funding in order to maintain our level of service to our students as we are required to do. In addition to my concerns for the not so far off future, I asked this question in response. Why should we wait until we are broke? Our district will be much better prepared for the future if we are proactive instead of reactive. Wouldn't it be better in this time of teacher shortages for us to be able to increase our teachers' base pay in order to attract and retain our high-level educators. It would be wise for us to be able to move salaries out of capital to our general fund so that we can free up that money to spend on our facilities and on our students, such as for increasing security and safety at our buildings, as this has been pointed out as a concern and as we heard from INA tonight. We want to do what is best for our children, the students, and that means doing what is best for the district long term. I also feel like a plan is the most respectful way to move forward for everybody at this time. Because while we may pursue the land transfer, or while the Wilson and Lawrence communities may pursue that option, I feel like we need to have a set action plan set forth for what will occur in the years to come, just so that there isn't that question every month, and there isn't this discussion and this concern every month or at the end of every year, because I know that the Wilson and Lawrence communities feel like this is something that is brought up every year. And while it may not actually be brought up every year, it is a recurring theme because the district of our size, even if we combine our high school students and combine all of them without losing any, we would still be a small school. We would still be a 1A school. And I feel like that points to the fact that it's not feasible for us to operate two junior, senior high schools. It is nothing personal, and I truly hope that we could come together, because I was around too when we went from, and I know you guys get tired of hearing about this, but when we went through the consolidation from Claflin and Fleur Heights to Central Plains, and that was a tumultuous time too. Back when I was in high school, we were dead rivals, but we've been able to come together and work as one community and as a district. And it is my hope that even through these difficult and challenging times, we would be able to come together as a whole district. And I would like to make the motion that beginning the 23-24 school year, all 7th through 12th grade students in USD 112 be consolidated to the Central Plains Junior Senior High School Attendance Center in Claflin.
Is there a second? Further discussion?
That beginning the 2023-2024 school year, all 7th through 12th grade students in USD 112 be consolidated to the Central Plains Junior Senior High School Attendance Center in Claflin.
Further discussion?
Can I elaborate? So I know in that time frame, there could be plenty of other things that occur. So what my motion is for is just what I said, to have a clear action plan in place in case something else doesn't occur or there are different options proposed.
I certainly understand the need for a plan. And I understand and I agree that the not knowing is a big issue for everyone. But I think that making a motion to move without fully looking at the option is not a very good option. And there's 1,000 things that need to be looked at. There's pros and cons for those different options. There's pros and cons for moving Wilson students to Claflin. There's pros and cons for moving Claflin students to Wilson. And I think that means if that's the direction that the board wants to go, that needs to be part of the discussion. And the board approving something like that without having a discussion, without looking at numbers, without doing any of that, I think that's a huge mistake. And it's, in my opinion, not very responsible of the board. I mean, even if the outcome is the same, and there's a lot of things to look at.
Mr. Clark, where are we staff-wise now in both ends of the district? Teachers.
I think right now, the city of Wilson, with our hire tonight, we're fine. Let's see. We have Emma Belisle moving to math in the high school for Wilson. Sabrina Morgan has decided she will stay in 7th grade and be reading specialist with extra time that we pay her like we did this year. We do not have, that's as far as the teachers that I know we need to fill were there. City Plains Elementary School, we hired for PE. We don't have any other classroom openings right now. We've hired our secretary here at the high school. We do have a special education teacher hired here at the high school. Math, Jones Blue, we've heard different things I can't talk about due to catered rules. Same with my counselor here. And we'll need to find a go wagon.
So basically, we're probably in a normal year. As far as staff.
We've had some people step up like Emma Wilson. I know there's some options on there, but there could be some other departures that maybe I don't know about yet, but right now that's the ones I know about.
Well, I think we're probably in agreement, this board, that one high school is probably the best way to go. I don't think we're in agreement of transporting students from the north to the south. And there's some ambiguity in what I thought Tamara said about the district getting along and what's best for kids. I'm having a tough time seeing that all the way through. All that road just runs one way. But her motion and the second allows the Wilson and Dorrance communities to pursue another option if there's one out there. There may not be. If there's not an option out there, and that time comes to force people to come this direction, I have doubts that you will get a large percent of those students. I can't speak for them, but that's a year off. But I think it's really going to put a further divide in this district. You were right when you were saying our staff at Wilson, and maybe down here, I don't know, is on pins and needles, are stressed out. Our students are stressed out. They made a video to present. They have board watch meetings. They come to board meetings. Students shouldn't be doing this. There's no peace. They don't have an opportunity to be students and children. I would hope that we could come to an agreement within the next year and to settle this one way or the other. And I appreciate your motion. It gives us time to do that. But I also understand what Brad is saying. You know, there was a prayer meeting in Wilson yesterday that 40 to 50 people attended that centered on, listen to this, it didn't center on Easter. It's centered on the community of Wilson and Dorrance in the school and the school board. That's sad. We're in a situation we should not be in, but we are. So maybe this year we can find an option to change things.
So I want to say that since the last board meeting, I've received a lot of correspondence from people all over the district, which I genuinely do appreciate because I think it's important as patrons of the district to know what's going on and be engaged and express your thoughts and share insight because we all have different perspectives and different opinions. I think that one thing we can all agree on is that every community is passionate about our district, and we all passionately want to have what we have now and try to avoid as much change as possible. People have a variety of opinions of what should be done and what's best for all students. However, recurring themes have surfaced for me in my conversations with people, one of them being any change made to the current structure of Wilson schools I've consistently been told anything I vote to change is because I am emotional and I'm pushing my agenda. That's an unfair assumption to make about anybody sitting here having an agenda about anything that they're doing without having a conversation. I think we can all agree that having these conversations is very emotional. And while you can feel your emotion, that doesn't mean that that's what drives your decisions. Every single one of us sitting here has conflicting values that we have to balance as we have these conversations, as we make a motion, as we vote. We have a lot of different people from different walks of life in the room. We have students, we have athletes, we have parents, taxpayers, administrators, coaches, teachers, retired residents of the communities, grandparents, alumni, business owners, church members, board members, and we all have to come here and we have to be able to have these conversations and we have to be able to talk about the facts and then move forward. And I appreciate the fact that we can have these discussions with civilness, by the way. But that being said, just because I don't like a decision someone else makes or a motion that they make, that doesn't mean that they made it for the wrong reason. Another one that I hear consistently, no matter who you talk to, is they don't want us. Whether it's any community, you fill in the blank. Some community has another community that they feel like they've been victimized by at some point. Sadly, that's something we probably all have in common, but I don't think we can't overcome that and come together. I genuinely feel sorry that anyone feels this way, and I hope that in the future we cannot continue to perpetuate that problem within our district. We will be a stronger district that can provide additional opportunities for our students if we can come together. I really believe that. But if we're ever going to do that, we have to stop campaigning to leave the district or kick them out, or even just saying those things. That's not going to keep us together. We have to stop seeking opportunities to widen the gap and focus on the opportunities to bridge the gaps between our communities. And historically, I don't think that we've done a good job of that as communities as a whole. And the other thing I've heard is getting by is good enough, and I think this goes back to the are we broke yet? No, we're not broke, but I don't ever want to be in a position where in an emergency we have to make a decision because we're going to be broke if we don't make a decision. I don't think that's how any of us would like to run the district, and I don't think that's the most responsible way to take care of our tax dollars. And unfortunately, it feels like anytime any proposal is put out there, the responses are negative, whether it's consolidating 7th through 12th graders, whether it's let's do a block schedule and align schedules and share teachers. The knee-jerk reactions tend to be negative. I can't, I will never, and this is what they always do to us. And I'd like to ask, what if we were to change the self-narrative that we've had within our district to let's try this and I can do that? And I don't know what that looks like, but I know it doesn't look like what we're sitting here as now and the rifts that we have between our communities. And in the end, what we dwell on is what we become. And so are we going to dwell on the conflict, or are we going to dwell on the opportunities that we have in front of us to try to unite and be a stronger district, or are we going to let the past dictate our future? Kind of to build on what Allison was saying as far as kind of using these challenging times, one of our goals is to educate and prepare students to be advocates for themselves and to be able to know the process of government, and that includes school board proceedings. And while it is not fair to have this stress, I do think we could use it as an opportunity to help educate our students. And I would like to possibly take the next year to have work sessions that serve as assembly at the schools to allow the students to ask anonymous questions, or, to really understand the process and why we have to make the decisions we have to make. And I go back again to this being why I made that motion, is to try to have some respect for everybody involved in the process, and that does include the teachers and the students and our superintendent, who has put in countless hours trying to come up with the answers to our many questions. And I think it's only fair to come to a clear action plan at this time.
Can I ask a question? I don't know why. Lieutenant Woods? My question is, one of the things that every community always wishes for is a building in their community. No doubt, it hurt Bushton when we had to close our building in Bushton. I would never deny that. One of the things, in several of the plans or ideas that have been floated, and I hear it from Hollywood. Hollywood, they like having school in their community. Clapham likes having school in the community. Wilson like having a school in their community. With some of the plans that were put forward, whether by board members, myself, or working together, we can assure a school building in Wilson. Because there's no room for elementary down here. I even proposed a plan where it would be pre-K through 8. And I thought that was an opportunity to look at it in a positive light, that we can guarantee that building. So that it does lead me to wonder where that middle ground is. So.
Any further discussion from the board? Hearing none, the motion currently stands as the 23-24 school year, the 7th through 12 Wilson would attend school in the Central Plains Junior Senior High School here.
Actually, Brad, is that 7th through 12th grade students in USD 112 be consolidated to the Central Plains Junior Senior High School attendance center in Claflin.
Perfect. So we will go around the table for vote. Roger? Josh? Elvin? Yes. Cameron? No? Chad? Yes. Allison? Motion passes 5-2. Any further discussion on board on words?
I just want to clarify that I think, you gotta
Express interest in that land transfer. I think it would be great for you guys if we could make that. I know we're setting this date, but if we get some more information here, I think we definitely need to talk about it again. But this is a path to move forward. But like I said, there's always something else we come up, but I think it's kind of where we're headed.
Okay. No need to discuss it. Okay. Second one is, we're not going to do anything tonight on student fees, but I did give you packet of what students' fees were for the 21-22 school year. They are listed. I will be working with data administration and district technology to improve service to determine prices. I do not believe at this time I will be recommending any cost increase in Wilson. Any lunches other than maybe the adult price. Might look at increasing our textbook fees just a little bit to help us. I've mentioned that's been a fund that's kind of difficult for us to keep up. And also, laptop
What is the reimbursement rate of the federal government right now?
We're going back to the original amount. There's not going to be the unified free lunches.
I was just wondering.
I can't. Yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering if that would maybe help us that, if we do increase lunch prices, if that would help us find a new number to base it off of or something.
We have to, and Bobby is very good at this, one of the things we have to do is have our lunches be a certain percentage of what the reimbursement is. And I deal with it like once a year, and I remember it and I forget it, so I will get that information to you. We have done experiments this spring after spring break. We've allowed junior high students to take technology home. We have had issues with a little bit of breakage, not terrible, but we have had some. But I think it's been a positive thing, so we might move them into the driver's education fee. That basically just covers what it costs us to do driving. Last but not least, our lovely legislature, which Ms. Jody mentioned earlier, they are on break. That's a good thing. That means they're not messing something up. They really didn't accomplish much. They really needed to get some stuff done by Friday, April 1st, and they didn't. The school funding bill that they put forth did not pass because there were, I emailed them, they just put too many things in it. It wasn't like a straight funding bill. They were trying to put other things in it, which did not help. Really, you can't, they shouldn't put all that stuff in with funding. One of the things, that policy around allowing non-resident students to attend any school district that they wish. Imagine you're a district in Greater Wichita, and say you want to have your kids go to Derby or Andover or Mays, or suddenly everybody in Boisington or Ellsworth decides they want to come to Wilson or Clapham. There's a lot of issues there that, we just can't willy-nilly say, hey, everybody wants to come. We can't be prepared because we're probably 100 extra kids that we were never expecting. Also, here's another, they have that Kansas Promise Scholarship Program. This would give our tax dollars to students from Missouri, Nebraska, and Colorado to come to Kansas to go to school. I don't get that one myself. But we need to get a clean bill. They did pass, and it'll go to the governor, Senate Bill 160, that's called the Fairness in Women's Sports Bill. And also the Parents' Bill of Rights. It did not pass with a veto-proof margin. The governor has called the Parents' Bill of Rights the Teacher Demoralization Act, which is basically that put your lessons out for a whole year, all that kind of stuff. So, we've got a month, and they even went to like 1:30 in the morning, and we rest assured no good decisions are ever made at 1:30 in the morning. But they're off until they come back here at the end of this month. I would encourage you to contact them to pass a clean budget bill which funds Gannon lawsuit and do what's right for public education. So that's all I have tonight. Any open agenda items? I've got it on the calendar. Items for next week. We'll have teachers' principal contracts, possibility of discussion of some summer work.
Last year, they did a renewal also of classified staff for the following year.
I hope I have a report if my ESER was approved. I think I told you one of the interesting things about that is that I had to contact an Indian tribe, the ACLU, and American Disabilities, and that are trying to finance some money. And none of them responded to my emails. So, anything else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion. I am having a superintendent's coffee here, but it will be on Wednesday instead of my normal Tuesday. I've got some stuff I need to take care of first thing in the morning. So I will do it on Wednesday at 9 o'clock in Claflin, and invite everybody to attend. Library, what do we got in the back?
Second by Josh, all in favor, say aye. Aye.